Hey there, got a question in my DMs about an incident that happened over Thanksgiving weekend with mom and her family. A dad writes in, my ex-wife comes from a very large Irish family. They drink. They like to drink a lot at family gatherings. And when my wife and I were married, we agreed that we did not want our children around these gatherings. What would happen typically at these gatherings is people would get very, very drunk and fights would break out. People would either have oral fights or even physical fights. Our children would watch people consume large amounts of alcohol and then begin to act like absolute idiots, all in the name of fun. This is just part of my wife's family's culture. Since we have gotten divorced, my wife has begun taking our children around her family for these events, and something happened this weekend at Thanksgiving. I got text messages from my 11-year-old daughter that mom was, quote, passed out on the couch, and that two of mom's brothers had gotten into a fist fight and the police had been called. My 11-year-old obviously was scared and incredibly uncomfortable and asked me to come get her. I did. I drove over and picked up our daughters, and luckily mom did not stop me, but partially because she was so drunk, the police said that they should let the children come with me. I had to leave my Thanksgiving to go get my children out of a situation that is completely unsafe. What can I do now? Hi, I'm Billy Tarascio. I'm an Arizona family law attorney, and on my page, we talk about family law. You send in your questions and I answer them. If that's interesting, follow me. This question came into my DMs, and I certainly understand what you're saying. Makes a lot of sense. Now, one thing that I'm not clear on from your question. So mom was absolutely unequivocally drunk, passed out according to your children, and then the cops said that she was too drunk to have your children. So to me, this is a case where we probably should reach out to mom and see if we can get an agreement for some sort of a modification, because I think that these would be grounds to have mom's parenting time suspended. She put your children in a dangerous position with how inebriated she got. I also think you didn't say that mom was an alcoholic. You didn't say that this comes up often or that this was a problem during your marriage. Now, maybe you would tell me that if we were talking face to face, but because you didn't tell me that, it looks like this is sort of a one-off when she gets together with her family. Now, what you cannot do post-divorce is prevent somebody from hanging out with their family, even if the two of you had decided during your marriage that that family member was dangerous. And this comes up again and again and again in my office. But what you can do is you can prohibit somebody from drinking to the point where they're inebriated or unable to take care of your children. And this may be a really good time to think about SoberLink. SoberLink is a software and a technology that is alcohol monitoring, and you can have specific court orders that have people test at specific times. It can be very personalized to the situation. So maybe, you're fine with mom drinking with the kids, if she has one or two, but if she's over a certain blood alcohol limit, that's what your problem is. Well, with SoberLink, I believe you can get that level of information. So you could have mom test during her parenting time, and that might not necessarily mean an entire complete prohibition on alcohol use. It might just be a prohibition on alcohol to excess, because there's no doubt that what happened over Thanksgiving weekend put your children in danger. And so there does need to be some sort of a change, in my opinion. What do you all think?